So, hi. Okay, here we are. Oh, I can hide this. What just happened? No, don't hide Photoshop. Okay, good. All right, so I already did a screencast on how to do this. And in the previous screencast, I had you cutting out the hair and all of the skin and putting it on a separate layer. You wouldn't know that if you hadn't watched that video, if you haven't watched that video yet. If you did watch the video, maybe you started doing that method. Well, I had students in sixth period photo who were really frustrated. It was actually another student who figured out an easier method, which was kind of embarrassing for me because I'm the teacher. But that's fine. Photoshop is, you don't have to be a teacher to be awesome at Photoshop and have awesome ideas. And this idea is definitely better. So here it is. Follow along. This is being recorded anyway, so I'm going to add this to that Google slide. To access this video, if you want to see it, you'll have to go back to Canvas and open up the original Google slide. Why? Because you guys already made a copy of it and it won't be on your copy. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this select subject in the AI bar. If you don't have the AI bar, go up to Window, all the way down to Contextual Taskbar. I'm going to hit Select Subject, and it's going to do a pretty decent selection of both of them and their hair. It's actually pretty impressive. But we also want to select inverse. We want to invert this selection. So go up to Select and Inverse. And now you're going to copy the background on its own layer. You're going to copy the background. That's what's selected right now is the background because we did inverse. And it's simple, Window J. Boom. The background is now on a separate layer. All right, then we go back down to this layer and we're going to do a hue saturation adjustment layer and change the color of the little girl's dress, which is really easy to do. Hue saturation brings up this properties panel. Notice where it goes right on top of this bottom layer. And we'll change master here to blues. And then you're going to hit this little eyedropper right here. And you're going to look for kind of a medium tone. Not a dark blue, but something medium tone, probably right here. And then you can easily, I'll zoom back out. You can easily change the color. It's really not changing anything else. It does a really nice job of doing that. You could even increase the saturation if you want it super bright. There. I think that looks good. I'm going to close that out. And now comes the challenging part. You're going to go back down to this layer. You're going to grab the polygonal lasso tool. Press the letter L. That takes you to the lasso tools. I'm going to use the polygonal. I might even do a little freehand lasso tool. Maybe, but I'm going to start with the polygonal lasso tool. And then right away, before you start cutting anything, you have to go up here to these 4 options, these squares. Yours is probably going to be on the first one or the third one. Probably the first one. You want to choose the second one. The second one says, if I hover the cursor, it says add to selection. That means I can make multiple selections. So make sure you click add to selection for the option there. And you're going to break this down. And no longer are we cutting out the skin. The more you take your time with this part, the better and more convincing the color change is going to look. I'm even going to zoom in more. It'll probably end up being the longest selection you've ever made, longer than spacebar, that selection assignment that you did. You just really want to take your time. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'll just do the first piece and then I'll explain to you how to do the rest. I'm holding down the space bar. I'm zooming out. The first piece will be did you guys see what just happened to me? It just completely polygonal lasso, man. I can't stand it sometimes. It just totally destroyed the selection. I clicked too fast. I did something. All right. Let me just explain then what's going to happen, because there's no way. It's just going to take too long. This video will end up being 25 minutes. All right. So the first piece will be, and you can do it in pieces because you're on this button up here, add to selection. So you're going to follow my cursor. You're going to go in here. You're going to go there. Don't touch the skin, just the yellow dress. You're going to come around and you'll have a selection. And then you're going to move to this area. And you're going to come around here. You're going to come around here. You're going to come around here, here, here. And then you're going to get to the hair. And it's really, really important that you zoom in obnoxiously when you get to the hair. Even if you start to see pixels, that's fine. You want to go very slow through here and get all of that yellow dress. Otherwise, when you change the hue saturation, it'll change only what's selected and it's going to leave that yellow. Okay. All right. So you're going to go through here, 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 and you'll have a selection. And then you're going to go into these pieces. And this is where you could actually do freehand, just the lasso tool. I don't know how steady your hand is, but I'm just freehand. That's what the lasso tool does. You just freehand select. You guys can see why. You can see why we chose this second button, because I can make multiple selections. You definitely want to go in here. Wait, no, you don't. That's the skin. You can leave that. Leave that, leave that, leave that. I would go into these pieces, make selections. It's going to take a little while, but it'll be worth it. And then you can just go back to the polygonal lasso tool and go on to the third piece, which is pure torture, around the hair. Okay, it's going to take a while. Do you want to share? Right. Does that make it harder, do you think? Yeah, it'll just take some time. You'll end up with multiple pieces, and then how do you get it on its separate layer? Window J. Window J will copy, just like you copied this, onto a separate layer. So when you do the hue saturation, do it on top of the dress layer. You're only doing it to the dress layer. And then you'll be successful. You'll have a change of color here, dress, and the change of color on this dress, and the background will be unaffected. Okay, if you need any help, I'm here to help. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.